And we are live, or as close as we can possibly get over the internet. You know, I've struggled for a way to open these live streams up. All the good ones are taken. You know, buddy, that one's gone. Hey there, taken. But I bet he hasn't trademarked that yet. Might take that one. Anyway, I am RJ Carter, senior editor here at criticalblast.com, also the author of The Destroyer, Monumental Terror, in the Remo Williams series created by Richard Sapir. Previous books that I have written that are The Destroyer Bully Pulpit and The Destroyer Continental Divide. Also done a children's book called Alice's Journey Beyond the Moon, and a spin-off book through Tellus Press called Time Hunter, The Sideways Door. So we got a lot of stuff going on this week. We have some giveaways. I want to address those. And if you want to go to criticalblast.com and see that, you will find the link to those. First one up we have is we are giving away all 3 movies in one Blu-ray. So, well, not one Blu-ray, one set. It might be more than one disc in there. I bet it's 3 discs. I'm almost certain it is. All 3 films newly remastered. Eddie Murphy, his finest. So, if you want to get in on that one, there's multiple ways of entering that competition. Subscribing to our YouTube channel is right here. Go to the site, go through the form, click on the. That's what registers the entry. In fact, I think you get a number of entries by doing that. It's a weighted system. We use Rafflecopter. We are also giving away, and if you have an Xbox, this is kind of cool. We're giving away Cubit's Quest. This is a infrared light gun game where you have a game and you shoot at the screen and it interacts that way. This is for up to 4 players, which means you're going to need more infrared light gun. And because we're such cool people, we are going to give you a second one. So you can't, we're not providing all 4, but we are making it so that you can have 2 people play this game. Again, this contest is live and taking entries right now on criticalblast.com. So you head over to http://www.criticalblast.com. It will be right there on the front page. Both of these giveaways, the Beverly Hills Cop and the Cubit's Quest Xbox infrared game from Mars, will be there. In a week for reviews too, and some of these have already been published on the site. The good ones have. I still have some more that I need to write up, but I might just settle for doing one of them in a live stream tonight. Probably the best book out this week, and after a long, dull, dry spell, is DC Comics 6 from James S. the Fourth, Roman numerals. It's got absolutely gorgeous art in here from Tony Danny S. Daniel. Tony knows how to the male gaze. That's what Selena, she's there to attract the male gaze. You can see she's actually attracting a male. That would be the mayor. Is next to his rather unhappy wife because she's not there, but she's working. She's actually working for Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne has taken on the mission. Apparently, Ward, during being Batman, he would doodle and sketch pads and whatever version of Gotham City with different buildings in it, taller buildings, And Alfred always said, hey, why don't you actually in and build the city? Well, now that Alfred is dead, spoiler alert, didn't mean to drop that on you like that. Now that Alfred is dead, Bruce has decided to honor his legacy by doing exactly that, building a Gotham that doesn't need Batman. Bigger buildings will take care of crime. Well, I'm sure there's something about the buildings that will pull things out. Batman doesn't do anything without an ulterior motive, and people are already aware. People know that Bruce is Batman, and they want to support with their own plans. Those plans aren't going to be very good. Now, what this does remind me of, going back to the well, but far enough back that I'll give it a pass. When the first Batman movies were coming out, the Michael Keaton movies, Tim Burton had a very distinct vision of Gotham City, and to get those buildings designed the way he wanted to for the long shots where you'd see these Gothic towers and spires, he went to designer Anton Furst. And the viewers, the audience loved that city much, and the special fans of the film loved it so much that DC Comics decided to transform the Gotham skyline to look more Gothic, to look more like the Anton Furst designs. So they did this multi-arc story, 12 issues, certainly not 85 issues, of a mad bomber who was just out there blowing up buildings solely to expose the buildings that they were hiding, to change the look of the skyline, because he was enamored of the texture of this fellow named Pinckney, who had designed all these buildings in old Gotham that you couldn't see anymore, shadowed by taller, newer buildings. So in the name of art, he blew them up and changed the Gotham skyline to look more like a Batman town. Seriously, that was the plot. That was it. He just wanted to expose the buildings. Batman villains have had crazier motivations. This story has, while Selina's casing the fundraiser, Batman is following up on a lead of 5 killers who have come to Gotham, and one of them is Deathstroke. Now, this is awesome. Because everyone a fight scene in comics that's going to be cool in DC Comics, you're going to want to see Deathstroke because they're pretty equally paired. Deathstroke might even have the upper hand because if they play it right, you have to remember he actually uses 90% of his brain capacity. That's what made him so dangerous when Marv Wolfman and George Perez created him in the new Teen Titans, which is probably the best he's ever been in that particular unit there in the beginning. It was also when Vigilante got things went haywire. I love that Adrian Chase Vigilante now. Excuse me, while I'm nostalgic for Adrian Chase. I'm back. Got the headphones on because this is an open stream. If anybody and want to join it, I will send you the link. This guy here, Adrian Chase, Vigilante. You have no idea how many times I have resisted the urge to actually crack this thing open and stand him up. And the only thing that stops me is not the fact that it would then no longer be men in box. What would stop me is the fact that I know he wouldn't stand up on his own, and I would have this giant left leg of Giganta with no other body to attach it to. So, so he stays in the case. Adrian Chase, the Vigilante from the new Teen Titans. That was a divergence from talking about how Deathstroke was at his best when created in the new Teen Titans. And this is probably a scene between Deathstroke and Batman. And the reason it's so good is you don't see it. You see nothing. You see Batman to take down Deathstroke. You see him yank him out of the building on a cable, which is super cool. And then they talk shop. I mean, Deathstroke's just like, complimenting him on how he got taken out. He's like, oh, super wire, smart. I priced it out once. Seemed like overkill. But you know all about it, don't. Hey, Matt, how's it going? Glad you stopped by here. And he just keeps talking, and Batman says, now shut the blankety blank up and fight me. And the next time you see them, Deathstroke's out, and their masks are torn, and their costumes are beat up. It's like, that had to have been the best fight ever in comic books, and we didn't see it. Hey, Matt, you want in on this? I'll send you a link. Just let me know, man. So Batman 86, definitely worth your money if your local comic shop still has it. You want to pick that one up. The other book I picked up new this week for review, and they're not all winners. Young Justice, number 12. Look at that cover. Drink it in. That's all the action you're going to get out of this book. It's right there on the cover. A vague enemy coming at them from all directions. There is no fighting happening in this book. It doesn't happen. What you've got Wonder Girl and Teen Lantern showing up at the Hall of Justice and getting trapped by the building security, and having to sit there and talk to the Wonder Twins, Zan and Jaina. Wow. Remembers there was a huge hue and cry for a Teen Lantern character way back in the earliest days of Young Justice. And talk about the shipping talk that went on then. There was like, we have to have Justice has to be gay, and I was like, well, the obvious choice is Wonder Girl, because she is the one with the Amazon powers and emulating the Amazon lifestyle. And if you're going to live for hundreds of years on an island with only women, it would make sense. But no, that was not who they wanted. And eventually they got nobody. So that was ultimately disappointing. But one of the other things they kept crying out for was, we want a Teen Lantern. We want a young kid in Young Justice who has the Green Lantern powers, because we had a Flash, we had a Batman, we had a Superman, we had a Wonder Woman. We had an Aquaman analog, so it made sense that they got a Green Lantern analog, and it was resisted forever. Brian Michael Bendis has apparently remembered all of that and has brought her in. So we have somebody who has looks like a prosthetic arm attached to the shoulder that has Green Lantern-like ability to it. Yay. I have not figured out what's up, and I've read it twice. I know that Superboy has disappeared into the multiverse, and apparently Skartaris is now no longer on regular, or I should say, in regular Earth. Skartaris was Mike Grell's masterpiece of a series that took the old Hollow Earth theory and turned it into a and now Connor Kent is in Skartaris, and Superboy, mind you, was the smartass in Reign of the Superman, the Superboy who was the big tough guy in Young Justice. Superboy, I'm on another world. Sniff, sniffle, weep. And Travis Morgan says, oh no, don't do that. I can't help it. You have no idea how long I was in Gem World, and my friends found me. They actually found me and brought me home, and I was to finally face the woman that threw my life into disarray. I was going to have my moment and end up here. 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 Stop crying. Cry? Okay, fine. But it attracts the dinosaurs. Okay. Scartaris is ruled over by dinosaurs. They're there. One comes out right then, and Superboy knocks it. Superboy. It's the only Superboy moment you're going to get. And you know what happens then? You know what? Forget what I said. Go ahead and cry. Get it out. Well, now I feel it. I hate punching dumb animals. It feels like punching a puppy. A puppy's a dumb animal. Don't punch either one of them. So now, Superboy's got his feelings. The rest of the team is sitting in front of Hex's truck. They're on the truck. We have to stay here. We're going to stay here and look at this thing in the sky because there might be something fall out of it soon. This is Tim Drake, Robin, except that logo says Drake. He has changed his code name to his last name. He has gone from a little bird to a duck. Congratulations, cool name, way to go, Bendis. Bendis also taken his own original creation, Naomi, and thrown her into Young Justice as well. The orange skin and the purple hair is not Starfire. That is actually, believe it or not, Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld, no longer a blonde, no longer Amy Winston as far as I can tell. And they're just waiting and waiting and waiting. That's all the whole thing is going to be about. Bart shows up with donuts. They send him back to the Justice League to find out what's taking Wonder Girl and Teen Lantern so long. He comes back from the Hall of Justice. He's bringing the Teen Lantern and Wonder Girl, and he brings the Wonder Twins with him, and they stole Wonder Woman's invisible jet. And then they sit there and say, I can't believe you stole the jet. And while we're doing that, we're going to sit on the truck some more. Because that's what teenagers do. We just sit around. They sit on the truck. Amethyst is standing on the truck. Okay? Is looking up at Amethyst. And she you got to hear this dialogue. Amethyst, I might have to pee. Naomi, best friend, it's early, but I'm considering it. Do you have to pee or not? Trust me, every woman I pee, you have to do it now. There is no, hey, when you get a moment, can you stop? Of course, my wife is, 52, so do with it. But honestly, it was that way when she was 20 and we drove cross country. It was like, I have to pee. Okay, I'll find it. No, I have to pee. If Amethyst had to pee and there was nowhere to go, there'd be bushes over there. And there are actually tiny little buildings here that I didn't even notice because they were box stacked up. And they're so neat spaces in front of them. Okay. Ginny Hex is the girl in the cowboy hat. She's got a crate full of magical weapons in the back of her truck, some magical guns. Apparently, she even has an H dial back there, which she mentions when we meet the Dial H for Hero team, because they pop in. They get sucked through this multiversal thing. I remember when the multiverse used to be the multiverse, and now it's like this excuse for anything to happen. So, page of panel upon panel of dialogue. Again, the action here is palpable. I just can't wait. Oh, by the way, Shadow of the Batgirl. That is a flowered blanket that Cassandra Cain is wearing around her neck. Once in a sci-fi hero. No. This is a novel, an illustrated novel, but I don't think it's a graphic. No, I take it back. In the small print, it does say a graphic novel for young adults. It's for young adults. This is not for you. This is for Arrested Development. If you are still childlike in your head, and I mean, I've seen the worst cosplayer on their worst day does way better than this. Okay, that's awful. This is horrible. Nobody wants to read this. Do their thing. He turns into somebody in HL. He turns into apparently the Amalgam Universe Spider Boy. That's him at the top there. And we have the flyers. They're flying. Then we have Kid Flash. He's running. Everybody else is in the truck driving, except for Tim Drake. Drake is apparently run the truck to wherever it is they have to go. Yeah, I agree. They probably are trying to tie it into the Birds of Prey film. Not the greatest idea in the world, because that design sucks too. Birds of Prey, she's not wearing her grandmother's quilt for a cape. If you're going to do that, then don't wear a cape. Just, wear like a coat. Yeah, I get that it's the crime scene and he's the lead hero, so he has to be out. But first of all, Robin, and you're not going to outrun Impulse. So that's the one who's going to be out front if there's going to be any running done. So that's Young Justice. I tried the first issue and hated it. I tried the 12th issue. No love for it here either. So probably won't try it back again. I haven't picked up Wonder Twins. I'm now I'm not. In fact, anything in the Wonder Comics book has been Impulse, not Kid Flash. Look, these are my Titans, okay? Right there. So, and I'm about halfway through this graphic novel that I picked up by Wolfman and Perez, the Teen Titans, New Teen Titans Games. Doesn't have Kid Flash in it either. I actually grew up on the Annie Cardi. Got to get them that particular era of Teen Titans. The good. One thing I do want to make sure everybody, we do have a link in is we have our best of polling going on right now, and I'll try to bring that page up here for you. There it is. It is at criticalblast.com. It's in multiple categories on the front page. It will be super easy to find, but just so you don't even have to search for it, the very first thing you see in the description of this video is a link to that. Just briefly go over what we've got here for the best film: Alita, Battle Angel, Endgame, Captain Marvel, John Wick Chapter 3, Joker, Lion King, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Rocket Man, Shazam, Spider-Man Far From Home, Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of the Skywalker, and Toy Story 4. And as with almost every category here, we have an other. So if we didn't think of something that you think belongs there, please click other and type it in. Write-in categories have won in the past. Best television show nominees are Arrow, Doom Patrol, Gotham, Riverdale, The Flash, The Mandalorian, and Watchmen. Best film actor nominations are Brie Larson for Captain Marvel, Joaquin Phoenix for Joker, Keanu Reeves for John Wick 3, Rosa Salazar for Alita Battle Angel, and Taron Egerton for Rocket Man. Best television actor nominees are April Bowlby for Doom Patrol, Ben McKenzie for Gotham, Cole Sprouse for Riverdale, Diane Guerrero for Doom Patrol, Jean Smart and Stephen Amell for Arrow. we get into the comic book side of things. We have the best comic book storyline nominees are Bigfoot Bill by Doug TenNapel, Deceased by DC Comics, Doomsday Clock from DC Comics, House of X from Marvel, Justice Doom War from DC Comics, Powers of X from Marvel, and White Widow from Absolute. Of course, there is the other. If you do choose the other, all we ask is that you put the title in and tell us where it comes from so we can, label it correctly, because these things get trophies. We purchase the trophies, have them engraved, and we want to make sure that, it says the correct thing on it before we ship it out. That would be embarrassing to put the wrong thing on the trophy that you send out. Best comic book writer nominees are Al Ewing for Immortal Hulk, Brian Michael Bendis for Superman, Chip Zdarsky for Daredevil, Donny Cates for Venom, Doug TenNapel for Bigfoot Bill, Jeff Johns for Doomsday Clock, Jonathan Hickman for House of X, Kelly Thompson for Captain Marvel, Scott Snyder for Justice League, Tom King for Batman, Tom Taylor for Deceased. Best comic book artist nominees are Doug TenNapel, Bigfoot Bill, Ethan Van Sciver for Cyberfrog, Gary Frank for Doomsday Clock, J. Scott Campbell for Black Cat, and Iwan Reyes for Superman. And then, of course, we have our nominees for our cosplayers. Every month, the Critical Blast puts up the cosplayer of the month, which we call the Critical Blast Bombshell of the month. Critical Blast, Bombshell, you kind of get the connection. And these guys are really good. We're not getting Yaya Han because we don't want Yaya Han. She doesn't need us. She's got her own website. These guys are the up-and-comers. They're putting in a lot of effort, and they're doing a lot of good out there in the community with their cosplay and their costuming. So we want to try to recognize some of them by spotlighting one a month. And at the end of the year, we ask you to pick your choice for who should be the bombshell of the year. So we did not have a candidate in May this year because we were in the middle of a move, and we kind of let the site go by the wayside. We had more important things for life and living going on at the time. For January, Kelly Pointer. He's also known as the Salt Lake City Green Arrow. February, we have Bat Girlio. March was the DC Doll. Here she is doing a Silk Spectre card. April, we have Chronic Karen. She's doing a Jack Sparrow in that one. June was Jay Pines, whose cosplay does a lot of Red Hood work. July, Savannah Poison, also known as the Real Queen of the Jungle. August, Tina Tomel. September, Mako. October, Natalie Cosplay. She's doing Corpse Bride from Tim Burton's film. November, Lady Ash the 12th, doing a Bombshell Supergirl. And December, May I Cosplay, doing Elsa from Frozen 2. So we were capable hands. So I'm just now coming back to seeing the comments. Matthew, you liked 1, 4, 6, 7 were the worst. Are you talking about the Star Wars trilogy, the trilogy of trilogies? I'm guessing it is, because that's usually what people are ranking whenever they put numbers up 1 through 7. And without 8 and 9, I'm assuming you didn't watch those or didn't like those. I myself, 8 or 9, I have just only recently seen 1, 2, and 3. So, and because I was seeing one about 20 years ago, and I know it got to the pod racer scene, and it kicked. The whole thing was created to sell a video game because I could see that pod racer thing being a 3D racing game. So that's what's going on here. been trying to pay attention to what's going on Twitter, because it's always a week away from Twitter, and then coming back to it is like you left the planet and came back and apes were in charge. And you don't know what happened or how it got that way. Up is down, left is right. I guess OGCG, which, original Gangsta Comics Gate, is being declared dead by people who were considered to be OGCG. People who've supported War Campaign are now telling War Campaign to STFU. Way to go, John Malin. I support you on that one. It kind of pisses me off in a way, because this is why we can't have anything nice. You have all these people come together with this great idea, and what do? They tear it apart from the inside. Work together, guys. Make comic books. It struck me, that Mike Miller was ostracized because he made a religious statement. Oh, well, you can't do that because now you're part of this group, and you'll make our group look bad. And I just realized that's history repeating itself, because you got the guy not in charge, but definitely seen it in it, who was in the main and said something like, I like Trump and I'm voting for him, and went through the exact same thing. Oh, you can't say that here in this club. You're part of our group and you'll make our group look bad. And he got ostracized, and here he is in Comicsgate. And now someone in Comicsgate has done the same thing, religious this time instead of political, and splintering happens and history repeats. And I'm sure somewhere along the way, Mike and Edwin and Doug will be having a beer somewhere on a live stream, and one of them will probably say something, and the other two will say, "You can't say that in Comicsgate, not Comicsgate, Team Comics, whatever it is. You'll make us look bad," and that person will have to go off and form their own religion or denomination of Comicsgate. Sic transit gloria mundi. Thus passes the glory of the world. That's just how it goes. So we have more reviews we have to get to. This time in the DVD realm. Test, Twitter. Yep. Okay. Twitter is hell, and it's like the hell on Lucifer, where you can hunt your foot, you just don't, because you feel the need to be there. Gemini Man. Okay, so this is nature versus nurture again, although it's never really addressed. Will Smith is a top-notch assassin who is hired to take out a target. Hits the target, but he's 600 to hit. And he says, gosh, if I'd been 6 inches off in another direction, I'd have hit a little girl. It's time to retire. Never mind the fact that he was like 2 miles away and the target was on a moving train going 200 miles an hour. Pretty damn good. And you're probably not going to have to do that again. But, the target was also not who he was told it was. He was told it was a terrorist. And no, it was just a loose end for some other government plot. And now he's a loose end. And the whole plot involves apparently the fact that they have Will Smith, and now that Will Smith is just as good and just as great of a fighter, YouTube is permitting what? YouTube is prohibiting. Here's the problem. I'm trying to read what you wrote and not read that. YouTube me from talking about simians. I had said that Twitter is exactly like the world run by simians. Oh, well, it is. It's Planet of the Apes minus the evolutionary intelligence. So, if we took away all the talking and the smarts and the Caesar business, I meant Caesar from Planet of the Apes too. I did not mean Mike. I did not mean no. Sorry, Ethan. I did not mean you. I'm talking about the actual first ape from Planet of the Apes. We took that away. That's what we got Twitter. Monkeys with car keys. That's all we are. Um, so anyhow, Will Smith against younger Will Smith. The whole point of this movie was to show how cool CGI effect they could pull off to have them together at different ages. And then there's a twist that's not a twist where you something that's also Will Smith done with CGI. And I half expected a post-credit scene where it was like going to be an army of Will Smiths. We didn't get that. Thank you, because nobody wanted a sequel to Gemini Man. The other one I got that I need to write the review on, and I have watched CD now, is Terminator Dark Fate. This is a mind beep of the Royal Order, because it's an angry, pissed off Linda Hamilton who's phoning it in with every line she says is just dripping with anger and bitterness, and I can't say anything without attitude. So that gets old real fast. Yes, we get the fact that, first of all, she saved the future because she kept her son from being killed by Terminators, and he's going to go into the future and prevent Skynet from happening, except for the fact that the Terminator kills her son, so it doesn't stop him from going into the future. So he's not there to stop Skynet, yet somehow Skynet is stopped because it's not Skynet anymore. It's Legion, an AI that takes over and also builds Terminators. But the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator that killed John Connor and walked away, mission fulfilled, has decided to have a life of his own, settles down with a woman who already has a son, with whom he does not have to have conjugal relations. Therefore, she never finds out that he's a robot and weighs 600 pounds. And by watching her, he starts to evolve. And the sense of humor, I am very. He has a job. His name is Carl, and he hangs curtains for little girls' bedrooms. What the is watch? There was the meat of a good story here. This one, she comes back through time to save. And you're thinking, mother of the savior again, and has to be protected because Legion has sent a Terminator back to have her killed. Well, of course, there's a little bit of a twist. She's not going to have a son. No, she doesn't have a daughter either. It's her herself that has to be killed because she's going to do something in the very near future when Legion opens and takes hold and decides that humans have no place in it. How the AI and the humans invented time travel is completely glossed over. That's apparently not important. Anyway, this human girl who comes back, she has cybernetic implants. She's capable of taking on a Terminator for short terms, but because it spikes her adrenaline, she goes into convulsions. It seems like a pretty bad weakness to have built into the system here. So she has to have anti-convulsive medications. They have to rob a pharmacy. Apparently the bad Terminator, because I'm going to call him the bad Terminator. Not exclusively little girls' bedrooms, but it's all he talks about. I wanted to hang solid colors. Tim, this was a mistake. This is a room. You want to hang balloons. You want to hang unicorns, hearts, polka dots. And he's doing this while they're waiting to set up a kill box. So yes, he's a robot, but he wants to have small talk. It's weird. His name is Carl the Draper, and I've got to look that up because Carl Draper sounds for some reason probably means nothing at all. Not watched yet, but will be watched soon by one of our other writers who's already working on the digital. I've got to get this mailed out to him because we are the Glom. Krypton, the second final season. For that one, we'll have that review up. I did watch the first season. I watched all of the first season. I was impressed enough with it, I think, but I started seeing the trailers for the second one, and I don't know, Lobo, not really sure. I like the fact that Dev M is in here, but whenever I see the name Dev M, by golly, he'd better turn into being a super brat that becomes a bad guy, because that's my Dev M from the Silver Age. There's a Phantom Zone villain that confronts a Legion of Superheroes, I believe. Lobo and Doomsday are both in this. Zod, Brainiac. I think it would be really, really cool. Hotly kept secrets that's going to show up this Tuesday on the finale of Crisis on Infinite Earths. If we get a little bit of Krypton in there, Cam's not saying anything about it, but he's not saying anything against it either. So maybe we'll see some Segel in there. Also this weekend, I was talking early on another stream. I hit at Half Price Books and the dollar bin at Cosmic Comics in Belleville. So I got cool shit. Southern Knights, quarter a piece. The #1 super. That's how they're billed. This was published by Comics Interview. This is issues 17, 23, and 24. So I'm going to have to check that out. Some great black and white art in here. Henry Vogel was the writer every issue. I've been finding these all over the place lately, these Southern Knights. So I just have to put them together, do a mass binge read on them, and maybe do a live stream on just that. Maybe even find Mr. Vogel and have him on talk. Red Circle Comics, The Fly, #3. Loved reading these when I was a teenager because they were different from the big two. This real departure to a superhero universe that was not DC or Marvel was the Red Circle. PC was out there, but they weren't really superhero. Ms. there, but I don't know. They just Red Circle was the first hero team, the Mighty Crusaders and everything, that were a third world for me. Picked this one up in the dollar bin, Strange Adventures, and I'm only now just noticing that somebody punched a hole through the DC. Here, disappointed with Gotham Season 2. Well, Gotham Season 2, I can't recall. The earlier seasons, there were troublesome in the earlier seasons. I thought so. I think when Cameron Mayhew started coming in and doing the Joker, or Lee Jeremiah, different versions of the Joker, I don't know how they would have pulled off it with an adult Batman. But I don't think the Penguin and Riddler are going to cause him any problems now that he's Batman at the end of it, because they're a lot older than him. I can see Penguin being older. Riddler was always supposed to be a younger guy. Omega Man #1. Good stuff here. And of course, Omega Men, you can't have Omega Men without talking about. I've got more back issues over here. I've got a phone app from Sort It that I've used to scan all my DVDs, because they have a DVD database and the barcode, and it goes in and it picks up the picture from Amazon and everything. Well, so impressed with that one that they had one for comic books, and I've just now started scanning all my comic books. I've got, these are scanned, these are not. But if you're going to talk about Omega Men, you've got to talk about New Teen Titans Annual 1. Beautiful, gorgeous pen cover from George Perez. The Titans have never, ever looked. And yes, that Kid Flash. So, point trade paperback for $3 at Half Price Books, because I missed some issues when I was doing that. Darkseid Galactus, The Hunger. So, yeah, the dollar bins and the quarter bins, I've been hitting them pretty hard. Because, I'll take a chance on something for $1. And for a quarter, I might be it. It just might fill up space in the white long box. But just now saw that this was book 2 of 3. I might have passed on that if I hadn't, if I had seen that, because I didn't get book 1 or 3. So I got the middle chapter here of Superman: The Dark Side. It's another one of those, what if he landed here instead of there? Although landing on Apokolips instead of Earth would have been a much deviation in flight path. What if he arrived 12 hours earlier? Well, yeah, that would have landed him in Russia instead of Kansas. Much more believable. Or 6 hours later, and he lands in Africa and becomes, Kal-El, Lord of the Apes. That was a fun one that somebody did. JC, I'm not sure who they are, but I'm sure they got the reprint rights, because I don't think they were the original publishers of Wally Wood's Thunder Agents. Always did love the Thunder Agents, so there was such unique power sets and unique side effects. I remember the one that was the Wizard, who was their speedster, but because of relative time and effects, every time he ran or used his speed powers, he got old. Because if you think about it, if the Flash a relative year examining something, to him it's a year, then he looks a year older because his body has gone through a year. So the Flash should not have a very long life. Jay Garrick is blessed. This is a Dell 12 center. I'm sure this is probably a 4-color, number 12-805-412. No telling which one of those is the numbers. Nice painted cover here of The Outer Limits. So love that show. Got the DVD set on that. And then I know this one was out, but since I just finished 25 long boxes of sorting and bagging and backing, getting everything in alphabet and then numerical order, and that's not easy when they've rebooted Batman 4 times and they rebooted Teen Titans twice within the same 52, and you've got to figure out which number set. That's a real first world problem. I knew that I had these Wildcats X-Men crossovers, and I did not think I had the modern age one. So Adam Hughes cover there. Looks like Voodoo and Wolverine. So I said, great, I'm going to pick that up, throw that in with the rest of them. I'm not sure I've read the others, but it's disease. There's no cure for it either. So once you get hooked on it, that you can part with. Anyway, that's all for tonight. Planned on making this an open live stream. If anybody had wanted to, and was almost got really daring and put description to see who would pop in on it. That'd be fun. I think I'd still like to do something like that. Just have a surprise live stream chat. Just link out there, open it up to anybody and everybody. If you want to come in, put something together. I think it'd be fun. Let me know if you want to do something like that. Thank you for watching this stream. If you have any comments, let us know what you want us to do what you would like to see, what would bring you to watch and learn from this channel, because you are the audience and we cater to you. It's not about me. All I've got to do, but I need you, or I've got nothing to do. So what you want matters to us. Let us know in the comments. DM us on Twitter at Critical Blast. You can even discuss this message in any of the articles on criticalblast.com. Interaction anywhere is for us, and we definitely appreciate your patronage. Obviously, you're not paying any money for any of this, so we just appreciate your eyeballs.